Confessions are the climax of a romance anime. There are many confessions that I hold dear in my heart. Many come to mind, but these are my favorite from the various romances that I have watched. The first one is To Reach You, aka Kimi no Todoke. It's clear to me that Kimi Ni Todoke is a quintessential romance anime. Sawako, the main female lead, is a very pessimistic, introverted person. She thinks every bad outcome is her fault. She downplays her strengths every time. Also, people mistake her for a ghost due to their similar appearance. It does not take that long to love Sawako, as she represents what most of us go through every day, the fear of rejection. Those thoughts always clouded her rationality. She tries time and again to confess to the popular guy from her class, however, she lacked the courage to do so. So when she finally confessed to Kazehaya, it was a joyous moment. Kazehaya was an excellent male partner for her because he was the first person that made Sawako feel special. She learned the true meaning of friendship because of Kazehaya. During the confession, Sawako did have the courage to utter the words, but she could not see Kazehaya eye to eye. Hence, she hid behind the door and confessed to him. That was an extra touch that I appreciate from the story. You cannot hate Kimi ni Todoke, as Sawako is the purest girl ever in anime. Though, speaking of pure, the next one on the list has the purest female protagonist in all of anime. It is Fruit Basket. Fruits Basket has something that a lot of romance anime do not have. Its strong side characters. The entire cast of Fruits Basket is some of the best I have ever watched in a romance anime. Toru is a very naive, pure-hearted girl who lost her parents at a very young age. Even so, she never once had an antagonistic view of her misfortunes. She is so caring that even characters of the same age have called her a mother. Toru was love at first sight, however, the male protagonist, Kyo, was otherwise. At first, he seemed like a hot-headed brat, but as we delve into the story, you slowly start to understand him. His backstory justifies his nature. In the end, you go from putting him at the bottom to the top. The ending of Fruits Basket was very satisfying as the conclusion of each character was handled perfectly. Kyoru is one of the best ships because from how these two met to how they felt at the end was a work of art. In a short time, Fruit Basket made the viewers feel so many emotions. While Fruits Basket did its job in a small time frame, the next candidate took decades to sail his ship. It is Naruto. Naruto, the last movie, was the best thing that could come out of the franchise. Even before Shippuden, I was sailing on the Naruhina ship. I have always loved the shy nature of Hinata. It is said that when a person stays with you when you are at your lowest, you never let go of them. Hinata loved Naruto when he was called the demon of the village. When everyone criminalized Naruto, only Iruka and Hinata were there for him. So, when in the movie this happened, I could not be happier. It truly felt like an end to a thing I have been watching since childhood. No matter the plot holes and inconsistencies, one thing you need to agree on is Naruto has some of the best characters in a shonen. Up until now, the three that I have mentioned so far are popular, so most of you might have already watched them, but the two that I will mention from now on are the obscure ones that many might not have watched. The first one is Sakurasou. Sakurasou is in my top 10 animes of all time. One thing many authors don't do is make their characters ugly, but Sakurasou did not follow that formula. At first, Sorata was a typical happy-go-lucky main character. He meets Mashiro and gets assigned to take care of her. Mashiro is a genius in art, but her social skills are infant level. Like at first, she could not even wear clothes by herself. In the beginning, Sorata was very annoyed to take care of Mashiro, but as time passed, he got attached to her. It was more of a father-daughter relationship than a romantic one. Sorata's dream was to become a game developer, but unlike Mashiro, he was not born with talent. When he gets rejected for his game, he starts to get jealous of Mashiro's talents. He starts to distance himself from her because of his dislike and envy. The ugly nature of Sorata started to come to light. However, he realizes something. Mashiro is not the genius he once thought. She wants to become a mangaka. Mangas are personality-driven media, and Mashiro is a character that does not understand her emotions, so she never could come up with a compelling story. Her art is the best in the world, but mangas are judged by their content, not by their art. This was a big wall to the career of Mashiro as a mangaka. Sorata realizes that even for geniuses, there are still obstacles that they must conquer. They both accepted their flaws with the help of each other, restoring their previous relations, but rather than a father-daughter relation, it started to shape into a couple X scenario. Both of them were struggling to search for their identity. Both of them were struggling to understand each other. These conflicts all met at the confession. When Mashiro said, "I do not understand what's happening to me," it was the moment when I came to love the anime. Just the character development of these two characters is what made the confession hit even more. A viewer gets to experience their inner struggles and see how they cope with them. When the confession happened, it finally felt like they became mature. They grew to be someone capable of finding solutions in harsh situations. That is the beautiness of this confession scene. You feel like you have grown together with the two characters, making it your coming of age story as well. Though speaking of coming of age stories, the last anime is one of the best coming of age stories I have watched. It is Love, Chunnibyou and Other Delusions. If you have been an anime fan, you know the meaning of this word. In this anime, the female lead is a Chunnibyou. I have many laughs with Rika's antics and the things she genuinely believed in. Dekomori's death is one of my favorite sound gags in an anime. It has hilarious gags, but the plot in it is one of the best in a romance anime. The series follows the story of a high school student named Yuta Togashi who used to suffer from Chunnibyou, a condition where a person believes they possess supernatural powers. He meets and becomes friends with another Chunnibyou sufferer, Rika Takanashi, who continues to stay in her delusional world even in high school. At the beginning, we seem to believe that Rika is just a run-of-the-mill typical extravagant anime character, but as it progresses, it delves into her personality and traumas, making her a lot more compelling than normal. The anime's message is a whimsical, heartwarming topic that you have to experience to understand. There are a bunch of hard-hitting topics expressed in a very digestible way. Overcoming shyness, acceptance of goodbyes, acceptance of love, acceptance of emotions, and finally, attaining maturity. All these concepts led to this beautiful scene. Both Yuta and Rika are very shy to confess. However, in an instant, Rika gets this courage and confesses to Yuta. Yuta was dumbfounded at first, but in typical Chunnibyou fashion, they make up this contract to be lovers for life. Chunnibyou has my favorite confession as of right now because all the subplots led up to this moment. Every little event was leading to this scene. I will never forget this confession scene because of its execution. It is very rare to come out from a confession scene with 100% satisfaction. Chunnibyou nailed the aspect of confession. Season 2 is where the coming of age story truly takes place, but Season 1 did one very important thing, that is making Yuta and Rika endearing. There is so much to say, but instead of outright saying it to you guys, I want you all to experience this anime by yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, but for now, this will be Dungeon signing out.